Hello and welcome everyone. Today we will learn a new poem from CBSE class 9th English, and the name of the poem is The Lake Isle of Innisfree. This poem is written by the poet William Butler Yeats, that is W.B. Yeats. Let's know something about the poet first. W.B. Yeats, that is William Butler Yeats, is Irish poet. This is a poet from Ireland. He was born on 13 June 1865 in Dublin, Ireland, and he died on 28 January 1939 in Cannes, France. As I told you before, his name is William Butler Yeats, but he is widely famous as W.B. Yeats. He has written many great works. Among them are The Second Coming, which is fictional one, but The Lake Isle of Innisfree is the original work, the realistic work he has produced in terms of poetry. William Butler Yeats was, throughout his career, he was deeply invested in helping the Irish people. And that's why he wrote through his writing, that is literary culture, to make his people separate from the English influence. So let's try to know something about the realistic aspect of the poem, that is the Innisfree place. When W.B. Yeats wrote this Lake Isle of Innisfree in 1888, his journey into the poetry had just begun with this poem. Children, first of all, we try to know the title of the poem first. The Innisfree is one of the places from Ireland, and lake means, as I told you before, it is a smaller water body, and isle is an ancient form for Ireland. Let's see. The Lake Isle is not nearly a metaphysical, unrealistic, or supernatural place as its most famous works contain. Like his calling card in 1920s, The Second Coming, but in it we can still see a wise appeal for his people and his country, Ireland. The subject of his writing is the natural Irish beauty with which he is attracted. The poem is also personal, is related to his life. When Yeats wrote The Lake Isle of Innisfree, he was living in London, the neighboring country, and one could guess he desired for the beauty and simplicity of his Irish country life, and he had experienced as being a child as he was a child. So the actual Lake Isle of Innisfree is a real place near the coast of Ireland. It is not inhabited and is on Lough Gill, a lake isle in county Sligo. Children, there are many islands which are inhabited by the people. Still, some adventurous people go there and want to stay there for a long time, isn't it? So, inhabited place was not there of Innisfree. The lake itself is an approximately 5.5 mile in length and 1.5 mile wide. So it is a very small island. It could go to Sligo as a child on vacations. So it was a good memory for him to be there. It is a quiet place named as Innisfree. So the small island, which is longer in length, that is 5.5 miles, and almost 1.5 mile in a width. So let's try to know the about poem The Lake I Love Innisfree. The poem is a lyric, emotional song. It is a musical poem. It explores the poet's longing, desire for the peace and tranquility of Innisfree, where he lived, a place where he spent a lot of time as a boy. Innisfree is the name of place from Ireland. It is a very quiet place, and that is the reason the poet want to go there and enjoy. He had spent his childhood in that place. He has very sweet memories of the place. That is why he wanted to go back to the lake I love in his free. So this poem deals with a theme, nostalgia, the strong longing, strong expectations about the past, isn't it? That is to be said as a nostalgia. The same theme is existing in the poem The Lake I Love Innisfree. So typical words and glossary will be seen in the beginning. The first word is lake. Lake means pond, a small water body. Isle means it is an old form of island. Island is a small place surrounded by the water. Innisfree, a place from Ireland. Rise up, stand up. Cabin, a room. Wattles, twisted sticks with a making fences or walls. Glade, clearing or open space. Be loud refers to the sound made by the buzzing of the bees. Veils, a piece of fine material worn by women to protect or hide their faces. Typical words and glossaries. Cricket is an insect related to the grasshopper but with shorter legs. The male produces a characteristic music chirping sound, that is a night singing insect. Linnet, a small brown grey bird with a short beak, a singing bird. Glimmer means something which is shining night and day all the time. Lapping, striking, hitting. Heart score, the innermost part of the heart. So let's try to know the poem in detail. This poem is a lyric, it is a musical poem. It explores the poet's longing for the peace and tranquility of Innisfree, and with which he says, I rise and I go there. A place where he spent a lot of time as a boy. Innisfree is the name of place. It is very quiet, and that is why the reason the poet want to go there. So first stanza, I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. Here the poet is making a firm plan that he will go to visit a place where he enjoyed the childhood days, and that is Innisfree. And a small cabin built there, and he has a plan to build a small cabin, small room there, made of clay and wattles made. And he will use the wattles, the twisted sticks and the clay, wet mud. 9 bean rows will I have there, and he will plant 9 bean rows just before the his cabin. A hive for the honeybee and the home for honeybees, and live alone in a bee loud glade, and he will live alone in a company of bee in an open place. So I will arise and go now and go to the Innisfree. This is a picture of Innisfree, a small island with a lake, and one house is built of clay and wattles. Here some words are there. Arise means a stand up. Cabin means small room. Wattles means twisted sticks or making fences or walls. Glade, clearing, open place. Be loud refer to the sound made by the buzzing of bees. Here rows are there of beans in the form of seeds as well as plants. Here a hive, that is a honeycomb for the honeybees. The poet William Butler Yeats says that he wants to go to Innisfree and stay there over a time, and being that he will build a small room for himself with the clay and small sticks, and he will be there as he will need some food to eat also, so he will grow some 9 bean rows near his room. Also, he will get the honey from the honeybees hive, and he says that open space where he could build his room with a full of buzzing sound of the bees, or there will be a live alone in a peace and tranquility. So moving towards the second number stanza, and I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of morning to where the cricket sings, the midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purpose glow, and evening full of linnet birds. Here, what the poet will do during that all day, he will enjoy the place of Innisfree, isn't it? And I shall have a small piece there, and he will enjoy the peace there. And here, in the second number line, he has compared the morning as like veils, that is the protection used by the women made of the cloth in burqa, means lifting of darkness, that is to be compared with the veils of morning. And here cricket, it is a night singing bird which create the sounds, a melodious sound for the poet to hear. And here midnight's glimmer. In even midnight, some insects are there which shine here, and even linnet birds is also singing, and it all together add to the natural beauty. Here, well, a piece of fine material worn by women to protect or hide the face, in Marathi or Hindi, burqa. Cricket, an insect related to the grasshopper but with shorter legs. The male produces characteristic musical chirping sound. Linnet, a small brown grey bird with a short beak. Glimmer means something which is shining. Night singing insect. Cricket, you can see in picture cricket. Cricket is also name used for the game, but here cricket means insect which comes in the night and create the sound, that is night singing insect. In this stanza, the poet says that when he is in Innisfree, he will feel very much peaceful, and he says that the feeling of peace is felt slowly and gradually, like arrival and departure of morning and night. He describes how he would feel peaceful in the morning time. When it is a cloudy, the view is not very clear. Then it will be clear and appear as if the morning has worn a veil and has hidden itself. Looking at the scene will make him feel peaceful. Further, he says that when the male cricket, that is insect, night singing insect, will sing a song, that sound will bring him at peace. Also at midnight, when he will see the twinkling star in the open sky, their shine will also give him peace. In the afternoon, when the sunlight will give a purple glow, it will also give him the peace. During the evening, when he will see the linnet bird singing or flying in the sky, then it will be a peaceful for him. So last number stanza, third number stanza. I will rise and I will go now, for always, night and day, it is all the time. I hear the lake water lapping, striking, hitting with low sounds by the shore, the bank of river. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement grey, I hear it in my deep heart's core. So poet says that all the memories throughout the whole day and night he will preserve in his heart and he will cherish for the further days. So here you can see a smaller island, Innisfree, and made the island due to the surrounded of water. So I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. Night and day, all the time, lapping, striking, heart score, the innermost part of the heart. In this stanza, the poet says that now he will stand up and go to Innisfree because still he has not reached, and this is the firm decision second time to reach there in Innisfree to enjoy the childhood memories and be peaceful. Because of all the time the sound of the lake water striking the shore repeats in his mind, this sound attracts him towards the lake. Whenever he says, either standing on the roadway or on the grey colored pavement, is a small path of having the grass which has turned to grey colored. He hears the sound deep in the innermost part of his heart. So let's see the analysis of the poem in the terms of the literary devices. The rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B. And the alliteration is used often for rhythmic effect. So repetition of the consonant sound here is there one or two times close placed together to be said as an alliteration. For example, in the line hive, honeybee, yes sound is repeated. Similarly, in the second example, lake, lapping, low. So here L sound is repeated. So only sound is repeated, that's why it is alliteration. Then repetition. I will arise and go now. Here repetition is found in the stanza first and third. Whole sentences, expressions have been repeated. So I will arise and go now. It is given in the first stanza and third stanza. That's why it is figure of speech repetition. Personification. Here sound morning is personified. Here morning is treated like a human being or woman which is lifting her veil, that is the protection of the face, that is burqa. So that's why the morning is personified. Metaphor, clouds are compared with the veils. So here the clouds are directly considered as a veils. That's why it is a direct comparison, implicit comparison. Therefore, it is figure of speech metaphor. So here why we are happy to conclude that W.B. Yeats makes his decision in the beginning of the poem. He will arise and go there because he wanted to refresh with his peaceful days of childhood memories, and that's why he wanted to go there with a good plan, because he has fed up, he become mad with the hectic life to be in London. So in order to bring back his peacefulness and loveliness, he wanted to be in Innisfree. So the poet wants to live like a life as he lived in his childhood days. I hope you understood the lessons. With this we conclude. Thank you.